All right. Hey there, everyone. Hitesh here, and welcome to another Saturday Live. And hopefully, people will show up. Hopefully, YouTube will send notification if I'm being lucky. But again, it's up to in the hand of YouTube itself. Let me quickly go ahead and enable slow mode. And to a bit of your surprise, I have got guest as well today. So you can ask question to him as well. And it would be a pleasure surprise to all of you who we have got on the platform today. Okay, so I can see comments. Muthu is here. Hello, Muthu. How are you? Just like always, like every single Saturday, Muthu is here, and I love that. Okay, just wait for a bit. Okay, I can see people are coming in from Sanjeev. Okay, now this is really bad because YouTube has again changed the interface, and I have to now find out where is the setting for the slow mode. Come on, YouTube. Like you have to do this today only. Finally found the slow mode. Okay, all right. So, should we bring up our guest first and have a discussion with him? You will be pleasantly surprised to get him up here. Let me bring you up on board. Hey, okay,
Hello, hi Hitesh. Yeah,
nice catching up with you. You might
yeah,
be
same
knowing him
same
as
here.
well. Same from JavaScript series. So, how are you, Akshay?
So I'm doing good, Hitesh. What about you? Like, how are you doing? And hello, everybody. Yes,
I'm doing good as well. A lot of people know both of us
yes,
because of the JavaScript series, although we do a lot of other stuff, but I guess we both are being known for the JavaScript series.
yes, definitely. And first of all, like, I would like to say thank you so much, Hitesh, for like getting me here and inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here on your channel. Like, I have been watching your channel since a long time, and when I started, like, I used to search for something in JavaScript, and I used to like land onto your channel. So it's a great pleasure to be here as a guest now. So it's
Thank you
thank you so
so
much for
much.
inviting
And
again.
it's really happy that I see a lot of people are learning from your series. It's really the
Yes.
catchy name here. How did you came up with the name actually?
So actually, it's after COVID, right? So I used to get a lot of time. I came back to my hometown, and so I was saving a lot of time, like of traveling time to office and a lot of things. So and this like JavaScript series was in my mind since a long time. But then after a long time, it came into inception, and I was thinking that okay, I have to create a series of JavaScript, but then when should I do that? And I felt that this is the right time when people are busy at their homes, and like not busy, I mean like they are bored at their homes, and they
Yeah.
can like study stuff instead of going out. It's lockdown season. So then I thought that okay, let's do that. And when I had to come up with a name, so Namaste was kind of very popular that days, right? So everybody,
Yeah.
even Trump used to be like Namaste, and a lot of other celebrities were like promoting Namaste all across the world. So I thought that okay, and then Namaste means hello, right? So
Yeah.
I thought that okay, hello JavaScript or Namaste JavaScript would like sound cool. And then I kind of like tried to get that attire also, that okay, some Indian vibes here. And
Okay, so
yeah,
did you
I
wrote in the
did
program
that.
"Hello World" or "Namaste World"? What did you
Yes,
say?
yes. I use a couple of examples with always with Namaste. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, just
Yes.
for fun, what is still to this date worst thing to understand that you think is there in the JavaScript? Like we have a lot of things we can blame on with the this and closures and content.
Exactly.
There's a lot.
Yes.
What's your thing that you think that when a beginner gets started, what is the worst thing that
Yeah.
he face?
So actually, see, not the worst thing. I would say it's a wrong thing, because most of the time, what I have seen in our developer community, JavaScript is not the first language of most of
Yeah,
the developers. Like, and the problem is that anybody who is coming to JavaScript is coming from C or Java or Python. Okay, so and C and Java are like way apart. I mean, I mean, and then people start comparing those languages with JavaScript. So that's the worst thing I would say to do as a beginner. And when somebody tries to learn JavaScript, they should be in a like they should wipe off all their memories of other languages and start. So that is when you can actually learn JavaScript. That's my personal opinion there. Even I have come from, like, I have studied first Java in my school days, and then I moved to C, then I came to JavaScript. But then after learning it, I realized that the best way is to like wipe off all the other memory and then like start JavaScript from scratch. You would love that then. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I
Mm.
always say to
Mm.
people that
Yes.
languages are not dependent on each other. I have said it probably a gazillion of time. Every language has
Exactly.
its
Yeah.
own loop, own functions,
Mhm.
and own classes, and pretty much
Exactly.
everything. But we are trained so much that first you have to learn C, then the dependency is C++, and then you get a dependency of Java, and then you can start learning anything. I think
Exactly.
I don't know when this mentality will go out that every language is in itself a sufficient one. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So
A,
exactly, that's
a
how it
couple of
is. Yes.
questions to you since you are here as well.
Yes.
You have been into Uber as well. Okay,
Yes, I'm working
and
for Uber right now. Yes.
okay, you are okay. So, what is the one thing that actually mesmerize you about the stack that Uber use? Like, what is the one thing that gets you? Wow, how they are doing this?
So the amazing thing is that in Uber we have recently migrated to monorepo. So there are a lot of web applications which were there in Uber, and what happened now, we have like shifted all those application onto a monorepo kind of system. Okay, so it's like a single repository for all the services, all the web services there. So it resolves a lot of things for us. Like you don't have like old applications or old services which are using some old version of dependencies. So now we are onto a consistent stack. Okay, so web monorepo is built on top of Fusion. So Fusion JS is the framework what we use over here. So it is again a framework which is open source by Uber, and we use base web library for like the component library for our components and all the stuff. So it's like and Fusion JS at the back is using React. So that's the tech stack what we use, and we keep on like upgrading it. So we move along with React. So we are working obviously always on latest version of React, and use the best developer tooling out there. So I have seen a lot of companies, even big large scale companies, which are using like older version of React, or like they are way behind from the current tech stack. But what I see is I'm always up with the tech stack. Everything which is coming up new, I can just get in and code live in the in my office projects also. So that I really like about it. It's not like I have to do PHP in office and I need to learn new stuff outside.
I
So it's
really
it's
thought
great
when
to
this
be there.
Fusion JS got
Hmm.
public, I posted a couple of stories and
Yep.
stuff like that. I thought
Yeah.
it is going to take off because there are so many good things there. What I'm
Yes.
what
Yes.
I'm seeing right now for the next and Gatsby, of course,
Hmm.
they are solving good problem, but
Hmm.
I thought that this is
Hmm.
going to skyrocket. There are so many things good in this one. I don't know what
Hmm.
happened to this. Probably some marketing missing or something, but it didn't took off that much that I wanted it to take
Yes.
off.
Kind of. And like see, there are use cases where it is very much useful, and then like maybe some companies find it, some companies don't. There is a gap in the, like, every framework which comes out like have to build that developer ecosystem, and there should be like companies spending a lot of time in that, developers lot of investment. So maybe I think we are a little behind there. But there are a lot of things which are coming up in Fusion also. So there are developers, like we have a separate team of developers which are working on building the, like, making the developer experience best. So there are people working on it. But yes, again, like anyways, Google and Facebook is backing Angular, and it's tough for the other frameworks to like get up that fast. And yeah, and that's how it is. I'm not sure why it is lagging behind, but yes, that's how it is.
It's a really fantastic. It caught a lot of
Hmm.
attention from me and from community as well. But
Yes, yes,
hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully it will get up in the
Hmm.
future. Okay,
Yes, yes.
not particularly about Uber, but
Hmm.
just for the people who are getting new into the corporate world, just yes or
Yes.
no, is there a way to escape from corporate politics? Just yes
so
or no.
I
Not for you Uber, but
so
just in general.
okay. uh, I think you should know how to deal with it. Like it's like I have been like I have spent I think 6 7 years over here, and I've worked in startups as well as big companies. So I think you should know how to deal with it, and you would be fine. I mean, you just do your work and don't get involved into those politics and weird discussions, and you will be fine. Like you'll be doing good. So
Yeah, but there is no
it's
escape from
about how
it.
to
You
work.
need to learn how to handle it or
Kind
stay
of, yes.
a little bit
Yeah.
of distance from it. But it's unavoidable.
Mhm.
A lot of people who just get into it, see it for the very
Mhm.
first time, they see all the good stuff about the programming and see
Mhm.
building and doing programming and running up a business are two different things.
It is definitely two different things. And so when I started my career as a like uh, I was an entrepreneur. Okay, so when I was in college, I had my own startup. Then I have worked for a lot of startups, and then I moved to this actual corporate journey. So I have observed all kind of environment, like where but I have always kept myself to being a good developer, and I used to like give my best. Like I never bothered about all these office politics and getting into that conversations where I do something just for the sake of showing off or something, right? People do it to get promotions and whatnot. Like all the
Uh,
they want to just go up the hierarchy. Like no matter what they want to do, like they follow any practices to do that. I think that's not good. I kept myself away from it, and I think I didn't get much affected. Also, the more you get involved into it, the more it becomes tough
we,
for
we
you.
we see
So
it. I'm involved in a couple of companies now. I consult with them. Couple of
okay,
them I'm acting
yes,
as a
yes.
director there,
Hmm.
and I see
Oh, nice.
so
Yeah.
much of the stuff that happens at the lower
Hmm.
end. I'm aware of it. I know it what's happening at the freshers and the people who are trying to
Hmm.
become senior developer, extend their salaries and stuff. It is
Hmm.
so much clear from the above to see all of that, but
Yes,
again,
yes.
okay. Anyways,
Hmm.
a quick question for you. Let's just say
Yes,
you want to build a new company and
yes.
let's just say you are trying to host your own courses onto a paid platform or something and you are designing it from the scratch. What would you choose,
Yep.
React, Gatsby, Next, or anything else?
So I think everything, like I haven't used Gatsby or any other, like I mean I have not like worked upon React or no, not React, Next and Gatsby. So I would probably be choosing React for now because
You can feel free
I
to
know
choose
it very well.
PHP or Angular
Yes.
or anything else as well. Like, what would you
No,
choose,
no.
like, as just out of the
So
box?
definitely not PHP, but I would go ahead with React because that's what I really know, and I have like explored a lot into React. It's been a while since I am working on it, and even Fusion JS, right, behind the scenes uses React. So that's how it is, and I'm much comfortable into it, and it has scaled widely. So I feel that the developer ecosystem over there is really very great. And if I'm building a company, then a major priority is also that I would need other developers. So I don't want to choose any recent framework which is not much like mature or developed, which can like hinder me getting fellow developers or something. So I
Great,
feel
great
that
point here.
going ahead with React is a safest option, I would say.
Great point
Yeah.
here. Actually, just sharing with all others as well. I was recently consulting for a company, and they somehow chose a stack of Golang, and
Exactly. Yes.
it was in production. And somehow this developer,
Yes.
there was just one only single developer maintaining all the
Hmm.
backend. It was kind of a
Hmm.
startup, and then he left
Yes, and it
and it
would be a
was a
blunder then.
nightmare
Yeah.
to find another developer in Golang. People
Hmm.
were asking
Exactly.
crazy salary from startups, like 14
Yes.
lakhs
Yes.
in hand.
Exactly.
Like
So
14 lakhs in hand
just
is
to
like almost
yes.
40 lakhs of CTC. Can you imagine that?
Exactly. Yes, yes. And that's what, like, I'll tell you something that Uber also uses Golang. So most of these backend microservices which are written in Uber are written in Golang. So the project which I'm working on right now, the backend is written in Golang. And we have a lot of microservices. The main major backend language over here is Golang. for normal projects. Okay, otherwise it depends on services, but
Uber can
microservices. But
afford
then
people with the
yes,
Golang.
exactly. So exactly, and then what I have seen, like coming back to your same point, what I have seen when a new developer from any other language or work different work background comes over here and start working, so he needs initial time to get up to it, like get up to learning those things. The style of writing code, it's different than the other languages. So what happens, if you can like afford that buffer, like if you can afford that learning space, that okay, 1 month developer takes time to just get up to pace, then it's completely fine. But choosing as a language for startups, it would be difficult where you are in fund crunch and you want to build the products very fast. So it's tough. Yeah, you shouldn't be taking those decisions then. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay,
Mhm,
a
mhm.
question from Ajay Sharma says, "Do you buy any cryptocurrency?" It's a hot topic these days.
So actually, like I do a lot of safe investments, but not
Same here,
cryptocurrency. I
conservative
haven't.
style.
Yes. So I actually don't want to invest into something, even a single penny, if I don't know what it is. Okay. So if I really invest, right, so I want to first learn and then invest. That's what I have learned so far. Because I have burnt my hands once. So I started. Okay, somebody told that okay, that stock market is like a game changer. So and I was into fintech firms, and everybody was like, you should start early investing,
Uh,
start investing early or something.
these
And
days,
then
YouTube
I
is entirely filled up because there is so many
exactly,
of the apps, and they pay
yeah,
people like us, you and me, and to promote the
to
content,
promote, yes,
and thus it creates an entire market which is saying you should invest early, you should
yes,
invest, invest,
yes,
invest.
yes.
So I guess
Yes.
you got into the bubble as well.
So it was long back actually, and just when I started earning, right, so then and the major bad thing was just opened my demat account, and I like just started what I was like, I started trading, and that was the
Uh,
worst thing. Like I put up money into few stocks, and then it was just falling down. Okay, and then I was like in a panic mode that okay, I'm losing money, and that time even 1,000 rupees was a lot for me, right? So
yeah.
so then I invested 1,000, and then it went up to I think 500, 600, and then I took out the money that, and then I did not invest for 1 or 2 years, and then I realized that okay, I should learn first, then do. And I think that was a great experience at the initial stage only, because now I have learned and researched so much, and now I do a lot of safe investments. Not crypto. Crypto is not my game as of now. Like I want to just see how it goes, and then I will explore. Like not anytime soon, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same for me. One of my friend Abhishek,
Yes.
he
Yes.
is actually
Hmm.
working in the YouTube. He was
Okay.
having five
Yes.
bitcoins, and
Hmm.
he recently came to India
Oh.
from Switzerland. So
Hmm.
we were discussing
Hmm.
this, that hey, what's happening and stuff. And he said, we can do this much. I can give you a manager for YouTube and stuff. I said, forget about YouTube. Let's talk about your five coins. So
Yes.
we
So.
discussed a lot, and finally, eventually, he came up with the conclusion that I'll keep one coin with me, and I'll sell the four
Oh.
of them. So he sold
Okay.
four of the coins, and he started a
Hmm.
factory in Jaipur for his fathers and
Oh,
stuff. So we
nice.
got involved in factory business and stuff. So I think
Hmm.
this was the safest decision he took. That getting out of this
Hmm.
crypto in time. It was a talk around like
Exactly.
5, 6. It was
Hmm.
like almost first pandemic or something.
Hmm.
So he
Hmm.
got really on a great time. He got out.
Yes, yes, exactly, right. I mean, and it is very like you don't know how it behaves, right? You don't know how the market behaves. In stock
Actually,
market, you can
you
still
know
predict,
very
but
well
over
how
here
this
you
is going
can't.
to behave in
Yeah.
the crypto. One tweet can just
Yes.
fall it down. One tweet can just make it go up. Like
So that's what,
I
right?
don't
So
want to get
that
into this
randomization is
volatility.
scary when you put in your money, right? Your
Yeah,
hard-earned money you put into something, then yeah,
yeah. So
it's too much of risk. Yeah.
I'm also kind of a safe investor than it comes to be. I prefer to invest in
Yeah.
startups and new companies which I know, or I know people. I like to give them funds
Uh-huh.
and stuff for that. A couple of them
Hmm.
failed, but few of them are making good money. And apart from that,
Okay.
I prefer stocks. Yes, I do
Hmm.
stocks, but I don't do
Hmm.
trading. I'm into long
Okay.
run. So
Okay.
I have few good
Hmm.
stocks. Usual, you can say culprits are there. So Infosys, Wipro, SBI, HDFC, uh, Bajaj
Exactly.
Finance. So
So
yeah, basics one.
yeah. Yeah. So I do a lot of things, like I put money into gold, and then maybe like long term like even gold, and then mutual funds, stock market, and it's like I do all like different things. I even have some FDs
Yeah,
just for the sake of
yeah,
having
I'm
it.
still a
Yes.
strong believer of
Yeah.
fixed deposit. Like people
Yes.
say it's so
Yes.
much, it's just crushing and all. I still say that is the
Yes. Yes.
safest money. I know this is
Yes.
depreciating and stuff, but
Yes. Yes.
it is
Yes.
there.
Yes.
It is there.
But yeah, I mean, like you should keep a portion of like how much you want to risk it, right? So
Yeah.
that's how you distribute your money. Suppose you have 100 rupees, then how much of the X percentage of it you want to put into different areas. So I just distribute it, and even if I buy mutual funds, I make sure that I am buying in different categories, and
Yeah, that's the
like
most
few areas
important.
which I really believe in. So I buy
Yeah.
a lot of engineering and technology stocks and all. So
And
that's
the
how I
thing is,
play,
you have to
and
be
it's
like
safe.
in the long game of this. Like I've been
Yes.
holding some of the
Yeah.
stocks from like last so many years. No matter how they dip in, even if they crash or
Uh-huh.
anything, I'm still so much of an early
Keeping
buyer
it.
that
Mhm.
I don't get any loss in there. Like I'm invested in a
Yes.
little bit of Adani Power, and you might have seen
Yeah.
recently it got crashed and
Yeah.
stuff.
What
I'm
happened?
still
Yes.
in
Yes.
profit on that,
I
like huge
I
profit.
am exactly same here with me. I have Adani Green, and I used to be firm believer of like this green technology, right? Like
Yeah.
green energy and all these things. So I invested it. I invested a lot of money there, but I think I was not much affected by this incident which happened recently.
Yeah, I'm still
It, it,
in
it was
huge
fine. Yeah.
profit on that because I'm so much of an
Yes.
early adopter. Some of the shares I bought an insane price that people now they see they say, "Oh my God, how you bought in
Same.
that price?" I was early there,
Yes.
and after
Yes.
5 years or
Exactly.
6 years,
Same
you're
here.
gonna see me there. That oh, how you possibly bought that in that price?
And same is the case with me. The first stock I ever, like after that blunder, right, I made when I started back trading again, so or maybe buying stocks again, I started buying these safe stocks which are like SBI and all, right? So
Yeah,
I bought SBI many years back, so now like it's giving me insane
it's really
returns. So
green now. Okay,
exactly. Yeah.
moving from a bit of a stock, a common question
Yes.
which I
Yes.
have a video in to do list. I'll make thoughts on
Uh-huh.
GitHub Copilot. Like this is getting
So
a lot of
haven't
attention.
haven't used it. Yes, haven't used it yet. So yeah, no
So
thoughts about it. Maybe you can give it a chance, give it a try. Yeah.
yeah, sure. This is a thing which like I was first approached by a couple of companies, and one of them I remember is the Tab 9. Now this company, what they
Yes.
do,
Yeah.
yeah, you might have heard
I
about
know
the
that.
Tab 9.
Yes, I have heard. I
Exact
have used it.
copy
I
paste is
use it.
there.
Yeah, still use it. Yeah, a
Yeah,
lot.
it's exact copy paste in the GitHub Copilot.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
what
Okay.
it is, you write the comments, and based on the context, it brings up your entire code suggestion instead of the IntelliSense, like giving you variables name and stuff. It gives you
Oh,
the
is it?
entire line of code and sometimes even the entire method.
And is it free or is it paid?
Of course, they are going to roll it out for free initially because they need
Okay.
attention.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. But Tab 9 they marketed so well. Like I mean, I still love it sometimes, but sometimes it is like I think it learns a lot. So after some time you will get used to it. But initially it was a little bit of sneaky. Like I was getting random suggestions, but then I started liking it
yeah, it makes
afterwards.
a lot
Yes.
of
Hmm.
difference for people who already know what they are doing, and they don't want to
Exactly.
just
Yes.
copy paste the syntax. They know what's right, what's not. But a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people get freak out and they get their tinfoil hat and start going into the conspiracy
Yes.
mode
Yes.
that now developer jobs will be gone and stuff. Like there used to be a time
Yes.
when every single teacher used to recommend that write in Notepad because you don't get
Yeah,
syntax highlighting and
exactly.
stuff. Then we start moving
Uh,
into Sublime Text. Then a couple of
yes.
editors came in, Atom and a whole bunch of
Yes.
others.
Yes. Yes.
Then we are into this
Mhm.
VS Code. So eventually, there will be
Mhm.
things like IntelliSense will be replaced by these Copilots and Tab 9 and stuff.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
again, by the way, hey all guys, please don't do any super chat today. We are not going to be picking up. It will ruin this entire beautiful conversation. I'm really sorry. Please don't do any super chat. I'll try to just get you back on
Mhm.
that. So what this GitHub does with the Copilot, they have given this entire thing and marketed as machine learning, kind of a Skynet or something.
Mhm.
And you write the comment, and
Mhm.
they will give you a suggestion, entire code snippet, just based on the GPT-3. and it
Okay.
learns
Okay. Nice.
from huge code base
Yes.
of the
Yes.
entire
Yes.
GitHub and a bit of Stack Overflow,
Uh-huh.
regex or something that they have done.
Hmm.
ETL, extract, transform, load, and kind of a stuff. So people
Yes. Yes.
got scared of
These
that
things,
so much.
yes, these things looks fascinating, but I'm not sure like how far we are from really getting there, right? So I
Mhm.
think still you need uh, humans to like kind of understand what you need to build, because it's not just about writing code. It's about like we are not software developers. Like developers maybe are someone who is just converting some logic into code, but
Yeah,
we are engineers, right? So engineering means to solve problems, not
of
just writing
course.
code, right? So
And who is
yeah.
going to be
So
responsible when it's going to give ridiculous suggestion? Remember the incident
exactly.
from the
Yes.
Microsoft in one of the conference. I meet this
Mhm.
Mukherjee, or I don't remember, a Bengali guy who is leading the
Mhm.
uh, entire he actually was the guy who actually introduced this separate segment in the Microsoft, uh, which was about
Okay.
what do you call that, learning from the context. So this
Mhm.
was a
Mhm.
machine
Mhm.
learning project. So
Okay.
what they did
Okay.
after doing a whole lot of project work and stuff, and they rolled out a bot which was supposed to learn from Twitter and have used to
Okay.
have the
Yeah.
conversation with the people.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
Nice.
they were all
So.
happy that now we can do a context based learning. And you know what happened?
Mhm.
Within
Mhm.
after
Mhm.
5 hours or 6 hours, they had to pull that bot down because it became so much racist that Microsoft had to put up an
Oh.
apology.
It's now I can see that they shouldn't have trained it from Twitter data.
Yeah. So he was the lead of that entire program. He was the reason why that program started in Microsoft.
Yes, 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 yes.
NLP,
I
a natural
believe
language
like
processing. He
yeah,
was the lead of that.
yes, yes. I believe that if we can, like I was also thinking about the same, that I think I am using WhatsApp since so many years now, and there's a lot of data which has been saved to my drive. So maybe pulling out something and training some model out of that data, so that the bot can reply exactly how I would have replied to like the normal conversations. At least it gives a suggestion. I'm not sure, because
Yeah,
most of the time the text we get are very much common, right, from different
you can
friends.
do it in your
So
very personalized case, but imagine if this is happening on
yes,
to public scale. Can you imagine how much of
that
the
is tough.
garbage code is
Yes.
being pushed to the GitHub every single day?
Exactly, that's what, right?
And this,
Anyways, it's there, right? Like people, a thousand, like I think 95% of the repositories are like just the test projects or random code out there, right?
yeah. Okay, a couple of questions let's take up from the audience as well. So Sanket
Yes,
says,
yes.
why FANG and many companies hire based on DSA skill instead of development skill? Do you think, first of all, is there any difference between the DSA skill and the development skill? Like, yeah, of course, the questions are different, but is there like too much difference
I
there?
think, see, I know where these people are coming from. Generally, what happens, and I have seen that somebody who wants to be a web developer or something in the community, they always had a concern that why we are being asked graph algorithms or something when we will never use it in our life, in our production code. So that's where people are coming from. But generally, it does not happen. Like when you are a developer. Maybe at least me, right, me as an interviewer, I have never asked such lame questions in the interviews, personally. So I whenever I take interviews, I make sure that it's something meaningful, and which can be really used in production, or I have myself used something on production or some algorithm in production which can be there. And sometimes, initially people think that they're not writing tree algorithms or something. Maybe you would not have got a chance to implement those tree algorithms in your company, but there is a possibility that you might have to use it in some other company. So knowing a basics of DSA is not harmful at all. You like it's a part of your software engineering, I believe.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that if you have built up any decent level complex application, these things
Yes, you would
automatically are
solve it.
injected. Like you will see
Yes,
a,
yes,
a, a
yes.
data being loaded up, and then you realize that if I move
Yeah,
this
yeah,
block of
yes,
loop outside it,
yeah,
then it makes it a bit faster.
yes.
You eventually do that.
Yes, exactly. And maybe not exactly. So sometimes what happens is I have seen embarrassing moments in the interviews also, where like I'm not sure why and how companies don't put a check over what questions are being asked, and some interviewers just pick up random tough questions out there from some competitive programming websites and then ask them in interviews. That makes no sense, because those problems you cannot solve in 1 hour or something, even like unless you are a really good competitive programmer or something. So those questions does not make sense in interviews, at least for the software developers. But then there are people who are abusing this, like leveraging, and this
Yeah.
not good actually, but
I've
happens. Yes.
seen that. Like I cannot name the company. It's a good Indian startup. I was doing interview rounds for them. So what I
Yes.
did,
Yes.
I asked a
Mhm.
candidate. It was like an half an hour, just a regular talk, no question at all.
Mhm.
Just like we are
Yes.
discussing, it was a position for JavaScript. So for a React, but we discussed just the basics of
Okay.
JavaScript. And the guy
Exactly.
was
Yes. Yeah.
really nice about understanding the context and this and how to debug and stuff. And at the end of that, I just gave him one question, that here is an
Yes.
array of objects, just write the CRUD
Mhm.
operation for it.
Exactly. That
And
that's
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 it.
what, right? I mean, you should be good at your basics, at least, and it also depends on level actually. But then yes, for a basic software engineer, this is all what you need actually, right? I mean, you don't have to go into like random tough things which you won't even ever use, or something which is like just a Google search away, right? I mean,
Yeah. So what happened
yes.
after that? This guy first was hesitant, but after that he wrote like nice and clean code about the CRUD operation. Even after that, I
Mhm.
enhanced it. That give me a search feature on that. So he wrote
Mhm.
really nice code and all of that, very
Mhm.
well precise statement, and I recommended this
Mhm.
guy.
Mhm.
And then
Yes,
the
exactly.
question came up. They were having the recording of what I was asking and stuff. They do
Yes,
analysis
exactly.
of that.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I was
Yes.
also on the paid. So the moment I start the record button there, my charges get started to I
Okay.
start my billing invoice there. So they
Okay.
said,
Okay.
how can
Yeah.
you recommend this guy without asking any DSA question, no competitive programming?
Okay.
I said, if you
Okay.
want that,
Yes.
I can do that, but you
Huh.
won't be finding better
Yes.
guy than this guy. He is a core developer
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
he's still working in the company and he's performing way
Mhm.
above all of the others.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So see,
I think
no DSA question
these are
and still
like
he is good.
parameters to, yes, these are, I think, why companies have developed this kind of interview process is because they want to test different kind of skills. So if I tell you about the Uber's interview process, so we have kind of like 4 rounds, where the first round is problem solving. So problem solving is basically dealing with that, if you are given a problem in hand, can you devise, like, can you think of a data structure which suits well in this problem statement? That's a really like a thing to know, right? Like check in the interview. So that's one thing. The second part is coding. So once you know a certain algorithm, then can you write code for it? The code you write is modular, is it scalable, is it testable? So a lot of things we check in that round. The third round is generally your system design round, where suppose if you are given that, okay, you have to build lazy loading. Okay, so how
Yeah.
would you do that? So these are the complex problems which these 3 rounds and the fourth round is generally the hiring manager round, where your a little bit of non-technical skills are checked, and like a company fit is being
Yeah,
checked. So
that's
each and
really.
every round has their own purpose.
Yeah,
Yes.
the last round, I remember a couple of things
Yeah.
which I did in
Yes.
some of my companies. That this is the a
Yes.
lot of people just get very very lazy in that round, but that round sometimes can be deciding factor
Yes.
because no company
A
wants to
lot.
bring in
Yeah.
in a person who can be a nightmare
Mhm.
to manage for other teams.
Exactly, yes. And a lot of, and I have seen like what happens is after these 4 or 5 rounds, you all the interviewers get into a separate call, and then we decide that whether we want to hire or not. And there are a lot of, now I observe that managers also test and see a lot of other skills which we being developers don't see. I mean, like a lot of non-technical skills also,
How friendly
and
you are,
exactly
how
what you said.
respectful
Yes.
you are. These
Yes.
are the things that
Exactly.
you need to have. And I remember this, like, now I see a lot of behind the scene when I was giving the interview for Google and Amazon. I couldn't see that, but now I'm in friend with a
Yes.
lot of people. So behind the scene, I can see. And even if
Yes. Yes.
one guy is more than
Yeah.
enough, if he don't like you, you're gone. One guy is like more
Exactly.
than enough.
Yes, yes,
And if they
exactly.
get like,
You are absolutely right.
okay ish feeling for you, then also you're gone.
Exactly. It's tough. Yeah.
Okay, a question from Vicky Raj. What do you guys think about Angular?
Okay. So first, I would like you take a call. Like you give your thoughts about it, and then I'll say
I think it's a beautiful framework in itself. Yes, I know we
yes,
code a lot
yes.
in React and stuff, but I recently got
Mhm.
involved in the project, and that's why I created a course on Angular itself. I think it's a
Mhm.
very precise, very controlled framework. Little bit tricky to
Mhm.
understand and master because there are injection dependencies
Mhm.
and a lot of other things. But I think it
Mhm.
is really one of the most. If I had to build up like banking applications and I have to be precisely under control, I would still choose Angular there. So one thing that I don't like about Angular is their updates. Like in the version 9 and version 11, there is no change. They have just introduced one component. Hey Google, just listen to this. It's 9.2. It's not 10. It's not 11.
Okay,
It's
okay.
9.2. So that's my problem with them. Now you go.
So, I have been like, I had a bad experience with Angular because like when Angular recently, like the first time Angular came up, Angular, the first Angular
Yeah,
JS, the
the
Angular one,
deprecated
right?
one.
So yes, so I built my first ever live project in like I was working in a company lending card. There I built a product from scratch, and I was the first developer who started the project, and I chose Angular JS for it because it was like new and hot in market, and that two-way binding and things were like really cool
Yeah,
there. I mean, that time it was like if you had to do that on using jQuery or something, you need to write a lot of code. But over
yeah.
here, there was digest loops and whatnot, like random things which you need to learn. And it used to be cool and it used to be nice when it looks. So, but what happened? Later on, after a few years, what happened, Angular 2 came in and everything wiped off, like it was of no use. But then I didn't like give up. The new projects we started developing in Angular, and I think even before React I was working in Angular. So my first experience into frameworks and libraries was from Angular. Like initially we were into JavaScript, jQuery, then we moved on to Angular. Okay, so I had a good experience over there. I have not built any side projects in Angular on my part, but I was working in lending cards, so I used Angular, and I liked it. Like I liked working on TypeScript, and I liked how testing is like injected into it. Like you can write E2E tests
Yeah,
over there
that
only,
is
and a
one of
lot
the
of stuff.
favorite
Right? So
thing.
that thing was cool at that point of time. And then I liked TypeScript because I learned TypeScript at that time, and I really liked the idea about having typing along with JavaScript because it's really needed in the at least the corporate like professional projects, so you really need it. So that I really liked. And then what happened is I kind of moved to Paytm, and in Paytm we started using React. So that's where I left my touch with Angular. And then I think after Angular 4, I don't know what happened in the Angular community, but I hear a lot of noise over there. But yes, I think
Yeah, one of the things which I
it's tough
like
for me to
about the
compare.
Angular
Yeah.
and the TypeScript
Yes.
itself, because when you do the code review,
Mhm.
a lot of junior
Yes.
developers write the code and that code comes to you, do the review. It is so much easier to review the code when there is a type and you know what to expect from a function. Is it written properly or not? It is so much easier. In the
Yes.
React
Yes.
and the core JavaScript, it becomes a little bit difficult to review that code.
Yes. So yeah, exactly. But React also supports TypeScript, and a lot of companies use it with TypeScript. And in Uber, we use React with Flow.js. So Flow.js is again a typing library which you can use along with it. So we are working well with Flow.js and React. Yes.
Yeah, so
So
okay.
anybody who is interested can check that out. Yes.
Yeah, Vinay is saying, is that a beer? Seems like you are new on the channel.
I was I was about to ask that, but
Yeah.
what is it actually? But
Uh,
I don't see the foam on it, so it's
it's
definitely
like
not
a
beer.
go-to thing for my channel. It's a nice tea. It's kind of
Okay.
a thing for me.
Oh,
So,
is
what do
it?
you prefer,
Okay.
tea or
Okay.
coffee?
So I am. So it's. I prefer anything. Like I don't
Okay,
have. Like I am up with anything what is available at the moment. Even
so
water is fine.
okay, I'm a bit of
Yeah.
a iced tea fan, and people who
Okay.
are long
Oh,
time on this
nice.
channel or
Nice.
following me
Nice.
up on
Yes.
Instagram,
Yes.
they know
Yes.
it very
Yes.
well. Like once
Mm-hmm.
I did this streak of moving into 10 countries of Europe and trying every single iced tea of every single
Iced
country.
tea. Oh my God, that's insane. Like, yeah, yeah. I have seen my friends being like that for coffee. so they have a different taste of coffee. Everywhere they go, they just find random coffees out there and try it up. For me, it's like I am comfortable with anything, but yes, if I have all these options available with me, I would prefer chai. So I am a
Tea, always
big chai
tea.
fan. Yes,
Like
yes,
Britishers has
tea,
given us
tea.
couple of good things. Train is one of them. Tea is one of them. Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
English is one of them.
Yes, exactly. So I would prefer tea, but then again, like I'm good with everything. It's not like I hate something. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with everything, but I prefer
Yeah.
usually
Yes.
black coffee or iced tea is like one of the favorite thing. Okay, another one
Yes.
coming
Yes.
into onto you. GraphQL versus REST API.
So I have been working on REST API. Like always, I have worked on REST APIs, but then recently GraphQL came in, and as I said, that Uber moves like whatever new comes up, they try to upscale their tech stack. So now we are on to GraphQL. I see that okay when I am working in Uber. Here, using GraphQL makes a lot of sense because we have thousands of microservices and different set of APIs, and there is really a need of GraphQL. But what I see is that some people who are early adopters, they just use it GraphQL just to look cool, or they just want to sound like I know GraphQL.
Yeah,
But that's not
in some
really
cases,
reason, yeah,
GraphQL
to use
actually
that.
makes a lot of sense. Like I was talking to the founder of this
Yes,
Hashnode. You
yes.
might have seen the blogging community.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah, so
yes. Yeah.
in the Hashnode, we were discussing, of course, not on camera, of course, outside. So
Okay.
in
Yeah.
their case, they are using so much specific, and the future plans are so much good that they need
Mhm.
GraphQL there. And by the way,
Yes.
in case you are going with the GraphQL, there is a new service around. I was about to make a video on that. I'll do that very soon.
Okay.
Hasura. In case you have heard about them, two Indian guys living in the California developed this Hasura tech, and this is like remarkably good.
I have heard that. I have heard that Hasura Tech, they also organize some events, right?
Yeah.
The yeah, they invite people there. I think I have got invitation once. I'm not sure, but yes, I have seen those live conferences online. Yes.
So I was about to make a video on that. I was getting in touch with a couple of people. Like there, I forgot the name, but there was a competition of Firebase. They present then like we are alternative of Firebase. These guys also reached me out. Like there are a lot of to dos videos that I have to do.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Nice. Nice.
a
Yes.
good one for you. By Pranav, he says Thor versus Loki.
So so uh, so what's your take on that? Because like
Neither of
yeah,
them.
yeah. Go ahead.
Neither of them.
Yeah.
Like they are
Same.
fairly new for me. Like neither
So,
purely from DC world, neither from Marvel. Like Thor is a bit here, but
so,
none of them. I'll pass
so,
both of them.
from my side, like I don't watch a lot of movies, and these like I mean superhero movies. I don't follow DC, Marvel comics or movies, so I have not much idea about it. But yes, I have seen Thor once. Uh, let's go with Thor. But yes, I don't follow a lot. Yes.
Okay, so there's a super chat. Please, guys, don't make any super chat. We won't be able to take it. But since he has done, let's go ahead take this. Can you
Yes.
suggest
Yes.
which backend stack should be used with Flutter to build high performance chat app with 20 million plus user base? We will not use Firebase. Of course, you will not use Firebase for this one. Otherwise, there will be a blow off in the credit card. Since it is
Mhm.
slow queries, as per my experience. Uh, 20 million plus user, that means you obviously have to use some kind of NoSQL there, I guess. And it doesn't matter what kind of stack you use because you have to use a lot of shenanigans in the backend to handle the load balancing. That's where the magic is probably going to happen. What's your take on this one?
Exactly. Like I mean, it actually largely depends on what kind of data you are also transmitting over this like network, right? So if what kind of APIs are there, how much of the data is being transmitted, is it like so if you like can comment down a little bit more about that application, that would make a lot of sense to use that. And obviously, as you just said, that NoSQL again is can be a good option there. Yeah.
Yeah, but a majority of the stuff that you have to do is deploying a multiple clusters of it and manage through
Mhm,
a
mhm.
lot of like Kubernetes or something. You have to go something with a load balancer or
Yes.
something, then the sticky session on them, and then multiple instances are going on there. Then you have to put up some kind of a queue service, maybe RabbitMQ or like you have to go. because this is 20 million user base we are talking about.
Exactly. And what will be the QPS? So it also depends on how much request are you getting per second, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it all depends on that, and even how much of the data is being transmitted over the network, like
And how much
uh,
bandwidth you will be consuming, how much bill is going to be there for that. It's
exactly.
going to be
So
huge.
that those are different questions, but yes. So maybe some applications, what I think is that so just like live chat or something, right? So we have this chess.com, right? So every single time, how do they do that? So maybe using WebSocket connections sometimes helps, right? So
Yeah.
you have WebSocket connections, and then you pass on
Yeah, we can actually yeah,
data
that's a
via
nice
that.
suggestion.
Yes,
Via socket we can actually lower down the bill also quite a lot, but still you need
exactly.
multiple instances and load balancing. That is unavoidable. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, to support that kind of load, not sure, to be very honest. Like, I haven't worked on that kind of an application for sure, but that's a really nice question, like a system design question,
Yeah,
which we should get
probably
answer for. I think
probably
I think
a
I am
video would
not.
be nice.
Yeah, I think I'm not skilled enough to answer that
Yeah,
question
or probably you
at
can
this
do a
point of
little
time.
bit research, and a video on your channel would be really nice to have that.
Yes, definitely. I have friends who can answer that. I know people whom, if I had this doubt, I would have gone to these people. So maybe I'll try to find an answer for you and
Yeah, and
post it
usually
somewhere
the answer
on
is
LinkedIn
not
or yeah.
with them. The
Yes.
answer is with the discussion.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't just say that this is like in two lines that this is the problem statement and you get some answer out of it, because it needs a two-way discussion about what exactly your app is. So maybe if you are watching this, then just ping me the whole details on LinkedIn, or maybe on Instagram DM. So I'll help you there. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
connect you with the actual people who can help you really over there. Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be there. And again, the same, we are planning to build a WhatsApp type of large scale chat app. If you're planning for WhatsApp,
Yes.
then don't worry too much. Start with MongoDB, some sockets
Yes.
and stuff, because you don't have to take
Hmm.
20 million of people right from the start, because none of the startup actually sees that we will be on 200,000 or 200 million. It eventually grows and you find the stack what you need as you go.
Exactly. You are absolutely right, Hitesh. Like, you won't get all those users at one go, right? Unless you
Yeah.
are a big celebrity there out there. Otherwise,
Even
you
I've
just
seen big celebrities
yes,
not getting that much. I recently,
yes,
like not
exactly,
recently,
yes.
last year I worked with a celebrity. He
Mhm.
is from Mumbai, because my friend is actually an editor, and he is
Mhm.
working with a lot of web series, so we are quite familiar. So one of
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
big
Mhm.
time movie star, he reached us out to build
Mhm.
similar kind of application stuff. We did that,
Yes,
and eventually it failed out for him. Like for
exactly.
that big
So
name, it failed out.
yes, and that's what, right? And what I see is that even in big companies, right? You are asking it like directly, like people are asking these questions directly, right? These are the good system design questions. But if these problems come in reality, right, to us, then it's not just one or two engineers or tech architects solving that problem, okay? And it's not
Yeah,
just solved in one day or so. What happens is you need to break down your application into very small chunks and see what that small chunk, how can you improve only that piece of it. So if you read, I have read a lot of Netflix system design. So if you go to Netflix engineering blog, or even Uber's engineering blog, right, you will get a lot of details about how these like large number of requests are being handled, and these like a lot of optimizations have to be made on a lot of different places. It's not like you pick up a tech stack and that would scale. Look, nothing will happen like that. So
yeah.
you'll have to optimize it in a different of number of ways, so to do that.
That's a
So
nice suggestion
yes.
actually. The Netflix
Yeah.
blog itself, I find that's a gold mine which is sitting right on the internet.
Engineering blog. Yes, and people hardly read that, but that's really nice. Even Uber has a engineering blog, so go read that. So there you get, so even small, you know what you have to do generally there. It's not just this the two liner which you gave is a big problem in itself, and it needs to be break down into smaller problems and solved it at every step. Like, what load balancer will you use? That itself is a big system design and a like problem to solve in itself. Like, you'll have to think about it, think of different options there and do that. Even choosing between WebSocket connections or REST APIs, or what kind of communication layer would be there, is again a problem. So many things, like
Like
even
these so
choosing a
many things you
database
can
is a
learn
different
directly
problem
from
in
the
itself.
blogs. They
Yes.
are publishing it out openly, so I think a lot of people should take
Yes.
advantage of it. Like I remember
Yes.
when I was just moving like almost a year ago, I was learning the cloud and more seriously. I was doing that, but more
Mhm.
seriously into that. I learned about the testing system of how Netflix goes with that. They call this as a monkey
Mhm.
testing. So they literally
Yes. Yes.
just turn off their production servers, and
Okay.
then they
Then,
try to see that how much can we sustain if one of our actual server goes down in production. Like that is really
oh
a
my
monkey
God,
testing,
that's,
but hats off,
yeah,
that
exactly.
that
But
is a bold move.
yes, exactly. You need guts to do that.
Yeah, and there's a whole
Seriously.
article
Yeah.
there on the monkey testing, and they designed a special framework for that entire. They call it something monkey or something. That's
Nice.
whole there,
Haven't
and
heard
it
of it
shut.
ever. I'll read it.
Yeah, and that they shut down the entire production grade servers, and then they try to say that we are still up and running. Like, oh goodness, I don't have that much guts to be honest.
Exactly. Exactly. That's
Okay.
then this is
Farhan
really
Khan
nice. Yes.
says Elixir is an exceptionally good fit for the chat app. I guess for the Elixir, we will call in Ben Awad. I'm pretty sure you've heard about, he's seen some of his videos. He's a cool guy. And I reached him out on Instagram. We agreed that yes, we'll be going. He said, why don't you move on to the Dodge House for a section? And then I saw that his startup Dodge House is no longer there. I'll bring him some
Okay.
on some
Yeah.
of the Saturday live or something. I think we can learn a lot
Yes.
from him as well.
Definitely. Definitely. Yes.
Okay, so a couple of more question. Okay. This is one from Divyansh Agarwal. Does blockchain has any future here in India? So far, not much. But I've seen two promises going on in there. One from a Mumbai-based startup which got $600 million funding. They are notification-based service, and another one that I saw is it's not out in public, but Ambani's are trying to incorporate that in some of their services. So I don't know.
Okay.
What's your take on this one?
So, not following much about blockchain, like I don't, I'm like, it would be useless to comment over here right now. But yes, I mean, I see a lot of development going around, but it's not that significant that would like be a ice like move something out, move a mountain or something. It's like I see a lot of open source small projects going on. I have few friends who are interested in blockchain, but haven't like
Yeah,
tried it
it's
on
just
my own ever.
enthusiasm
Yeah.
right now.
Yes, kind of like it's very naive right now, but let's see what is up there. Yeah.
Okay, so as I was saying, Chaos Monkey is the name of that. Somebody reminded up here.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I'll go definitely go and read that. So let me
That's a
just note it down
fantastic read.
somewhere. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
somebody says best tech company to invest in for stock. No, this would be wrong to say. This would be like an nitpicking advice, and when the stock goes down, you'll come back onto me. So I wouldn't be doing that.
I would, yeah, I would say that keeping your money in Microsoft or maybe, yeah, Google would be safe, I guess, because I personally believe in those companies as a tech company. So let's
Like
see how it
I
goes.
I have like Apple and Microsoft. I don't have
Yes.
Google stock. It's expensive.
How do you say it's expensive? I'm not sure. Like, but I believe in. So you know what? A lot of investments I make is on belief, right? What you believe as a person is going to be uh, great ahead, right? So I think that Google stock has potential, like, and it has shown in past as well. But let's see. Like, it's personal
You might be
opinion.
having the
Why do
Google.
you say it's expensive?
Like if I want to
Pardon,
buy,
pardon.
I don't like the fraction stocks that like you can get it. I prefer to get at least
Okay.
one stock, and that is
Can you even get fraction stocks? I'm not
yeah,
sure.
yeah. You
So
can get fraction
okay,
stocks.
okay. Haven't tried it. Like I always buy units, so I
No,
don't
you
know.
can buy fractions. Actually, U.S.
Okay,
market
okay,
allows that. You can get a fractions of these
okay,
stocks
okay.
and then eventually
So
collect them.
yeah.
So, but I prefer to buy at least one stock, and that's why
Yes,
Apple
exactly.
and
Hmm.
Microsoft. I usually buy units of them, and even a unit of
Hmm.
some of these stocks are like
Hmm.
crazy going up. Now, I'm not saying it's
Yes.
expensive, like it is overvalued. No, it's not. But
Uh-huh.
like buying one stock, it's a little bit.
It's fine. You can buy that, right? I mean, at least one you can buy, right?
No, I can buy a few. It's no issue. But
Yes.
I when I look it
No,
out, like if
no,
this much of amount
no,
is going on,
people don't want to put their money into risk, but I think that even buying is not risk there. At least for like it's my opinion there, but
yeah,
it's up
I
to
think it
people
can. Like
what they
when
think.
I start to buy, like let's just say buy like two stock or one stock of
Mhm.
Google, then I see like, can I buy Infosys in that? Like like this comparison came into the picture. Like, can I buy HDFC, and how many stocks I can buy in HDFC for that? And this starts
Uh,
confusion, and eventually I end up buying in like HDFC Bank or maybe SBI
okay,
stock
okay.
or an Infosys. So
Yes, yes.
these kind of thought always come in. Okay, so
Mhm,
I
mhm.
guess it's been an hour and it was fun. I
Oh, is
guess
it? Okay,
yeah, so won't be taking much of your time. I know you are a busy guy.
okay.
It was really pleasure to
It
have
was
you up here,
yes,
and it
yes.
was fun talking
Same
to
here.
you.
It was a lot of fun for me. Like it's been a while since I have gone live, even on my channel or any other channel. So it was like really nice to come back here again. Yeah, and that like and it was just planned at such a sudden moment. So thank you for inviting me once again, Ritesh. Yeah,
Okay, so
I loved it.
any videos coming up on YouTube? Are you getting back? Like it's been a while that you have
So
posted.
yes, exactly. So actually, it becomes a little difficult because you know what? When I started YouTube, I made myself a promise that it's just a hobby for me. Like it's not something I am doing it as a duty. When you have to do it. Like it's just something what I do when I get free time. So I don't want to compromise on other things, maybe on my health or my family or my any other things to just do YouTube, right? I don't like I never I'm not a full-time YouTuber, I would say, and I'm not that much consistent also. So I think this is one thing which I should learn from you: consistency.
Thank you so much.
But
YouTube is
yes,
still
I'll
my
I'll
part-time hobby. Still, it
I
is part-time.
yes. Yeah, but I really love how consistent you are. I mean, you keep on coming up, and you are doing this since years now. I
Yeah.
mean, it is like I find it very difficult to commit myself to something every single day. Like at least not YouTube as of now. Maybe it is getting tough for me to commit time to health also every day, but. But yes, like I would be coming up with more videos very soon, and now I'm planning to like devote more time there. So anybody who is asking or want an update, here is it that I will soon coming up. And thank you so much for the shout out. So and yes, namaste JavaScript, I will continue that, finish that very soon, and then we'll move on to something new, really interesting, and maybe what my experience can give back to the community. I would try to bring something out from there. Yep.
Yeah, so thank you so much. And for all of you who are new or
Yes.
probably seeing Akshay's face for the very first time, go ahead, check out his channel. It's with the same name, Akshay Seni, and his famous series is Namaste JavaScript. Go ahead, check it out. It's a fantastic series and fantastic work that he has put out. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be enjoying it and learning a lot from him as well. Okay, so that's all. We'll be ending this session. And hopefully, we'll go live on Instagram or we'll have some more fun. And keep watching it.
Definitely, Hitesh.
Consider
Yes,
subscribe in case you have
definitely.
enjoyed this.
Yes, definitely, Hitesh. And lastly, like, thank you so much once again for inviting me. And I really enjoyed this session and would love to talk to, like, we would love to come back again on these Saturday lives sometimes
Absolutely.
once
These
again.
lives are
And
just fun to
yes,
give more knowledge to
exactly.
the
That's what.
community.
Yes.
Like when two geeks
Yes.
talk out, there's a lot of information that spills out.
Exactly. We got to learn a lot of new things right now, right? I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and read about Chaos Monkey and a lot of other stuff,
Yeah,
taking back
same
from
here.
here. Yes.
Learned a lot about
Yes.
inside in depth what's
Yes.
happening at Uber and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so nice catching up with you. Thank you so much for all of you guys coming back
Thank
here
you.
and giving so much of your time. And special thanks to Akshay for spending 1 hour with us. It's pretty huge. So thank you so much and bye bye.